dummy. Yeah. Yeah. I say dummy.
All right, bet. Top 10 biggest moments in WWE of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
And when you say biggest, you mean impactful.
Yeah, biggest. So this is supposed to have cause and effect. So this situation happened, and it caused this. We don't have to explain every cause and effect, but because most of them are going to be implied. But yeah, the biggest moments in WWE.
But this is wrestling for dummies. I think I'm gonna spell it out for some of the dummies out there.
You guys are idiots. Yeah. So let's get it started. You want to start or?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have any honorable mentions? Because I have a whole bunch.
I have a couple, but I started like jotting some down, and it got to over 10, so I picked the top 10. But well, I
actually have 11.
You have 11 honorable mentions?
No, I have 11. I don't have a top 10. I have a top 10.
Okay, all right. Wow. Well, I put on my honorable mentions, I put Kofi Mania.
Wow.
Yeah, I put
wow.
Huge moment, but when thinking about cause and effect, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Okay.
I also put AJ Styles' debut.
Oh wow!
I feel like that was a time where things started changing after that. And I put Nia Jax breaks Becky Lynch's nose.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the honorable mention. That almost made. That was the closest out of the three.
Those are your honorable mentions.
Those are my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you my honorable mentions. I just put this down because I forgot. But AJ Styles' debut, the women's main event of WrestleMania 35.
What?
Wait, I want you to once you see my list, you're gonna see why that's like. Trust me, I know what I'm doing here. So the women's main event at WrestleMania 35. And then the Firehouse Funhouse match with John Cena. Yeah, with John Cena.
Interesting.
The Hardy Boys return at WrestleMania 33.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Roman reaches 1,000 days as champion.
All right.
Cody back-to-back Royal Rumble winner.
Okay.
Sammy and KO's WrestleMania 39 win.
All right.
I feel like that really cemented Sami Zayn. It's like he could hang with the big guys.
Yeah.
I have 12 because I can't put this on an honorable mention. This has to be on here. I just got to figure out where I want to put this. Let me start because I have 12, so I have to get it there.
You do your thing.
So, okay. No, you know what? I'm just gonna tie this. No, I don't have 12. I have 11, but let me still start.
Good.
Number 11 for me is Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks main event WrestleMania Night 1.
All right.
That was a big deal.
Yeah.
A big deal. Not just because it was women, but it was 2 black women.
Yeah,
so I don't know if most people know, but we're black. Major deal for us, for our people. Big win. It was, I think that match, WrestleMania was pretty good in my opinion, but I think that was one of the best matches of the night.
Yeah.
And it showed the type of faith that WWE had in Bianca Belair early. She won the Royal Rumble that year. And the fact that she main evented a WrestleMania. Like, I was shocked that they decided that was going to go on last. But I think it was a good decision. And yeah, I think that was really impactful, especially for the women's movement. But yeah, that's my number 11.
That's fair.
All right, what do you have for your
For my number? I think this is so low, but my number 10 spot is actually CM Punk return.
Wow.
Yeah. Survivor Series 2023.
That is ridiculously low.
Yeah. I once you told me like cause and effect, like I really started hammering down like what, you know what I'm saying?
That's very low.
It's a big one. But like the effects is just like anything can happen. Like now, really anything can happen. Like any single thing,
Oh wow.
you know. So, like I believe someone could like come back from the dead and be on the main roster. Like that's just.
Yeah. Wow.
I used to watch CM Punk interviews with people. Of course, it was fresh off leaving WWE. People would ask him ad nauseum, "Yo, would you ever come back?" He wouldn't even play. He wouldn't mince words. Like he said, "You're bugging. I'll never, ever, ever come back. Fuck them,
Yeah.
etc., etc." So, yeah, Punk returning. I have at number 10. What you got next?
Number 10. My number 10 is RIP to the GOAT. Bray Wyatt returns at Extreme Rules.
That's fair.
That was very important for the simple reason is I feel like when WWE released Braun Strowman, it was shocking. But when WWE released Bray Wyatt, it was like, what are you doing? Like, even if you don't get the character, Bray Wyatt, to me, he was always used as like a top tier guy. And I think some of the reports were he was being paid too much. Same thing with Braun Strowman.
Mm.
But still, he's Bray Wyatt. Like, what are you doing? I'm glad that didn't last long. And Triple H obviously saw the potential and what Bray Wyatt could be. But out of, we've gotten some crazy returns in the last couple of years. But when Bray Wyatt returned, I was like, Jesus. That was like one of my favorites. And I didn't think he would either, especially not at that Extreme Rules. I think that was Extreme Rules in Philly.
Yeah, 2022.
Yeah, so I was like, why would he return at this show? It doesn't make much sense. But the fact that he did, I'm a huge Bray Wyatt fan, obviously RP, but yeah, I think that was a huge moment. It showed it showed what Triple H is willing to do. Yeah. How he was different than Vince. Because frying Bray Wyatt was just stupid.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah. All right, so
for my number 9, I got this one feels kind of low too, but I have Edge's return.
Wow.
Royal Rumble 2000.
I have to see what your list is. Now I'm just interested.
Edge's return was kind of just like, okay. It was kind of similar to CM Punk's, except for a different reason. Like CM Punk, I feel like anything could happen. Edge, I also feel like anything could happen, but like with Edge, I was like, okay, you can be half dead and still return. Like you can have no legs and still.
Which one do you? So you think Edge's return is bigger than CM Punk's?
I think Edge's return meant more a little bit because like now it's like everyone just has hopes. Yeah, I feel like hopes are so high. I remember hopes were dead.
But you got to think about for all the Edges, there's also the what's his name, the producer guy, Jordan, Jason Jordan.
Jason Jordan, yeah, for sure. But even I feel like there's even people holding out hope for Jason Jordan. Like Bobby Roode, like people.
Bobby Roode, I don't think Bobby Roode's not clear.
Yeah, no, he's not clear.
No, No, he didn't have to. He just showed. He said in an interview with Chris Van Vliet. Yeah, he's cleared.
There's no way Bobby Roode cleared.
I swear to God, I watched the interview,
bro. I gotta watch.
Unless I dreamt this, but he said in an interview he could go back. He just doesn't want to. He thinks his career is done.
Stop playing.
I promise you.
Well,
I might have watched this like 2-3 weeks ago. Bobby Roode is medically cleared to return to wrestling. Yeah.
A big one is right now is like Big E.
Might be bugging. I'm pretty sure I'm not.
You
check it, but I'm pretty sure Bobby Roode is medically cleared to return to wrestle. He just thinks his career is over. But you said Big E. Oh yeah, Big E.
And like the stem cell stuff. Like people are going wild crazy now with like I've never seen hopes so high. Like hope back in when I was 11, Edge retired, gone. I'd never see this man again.
Yeah, me too.
Same with Brian. He retired in 2014.
Well, the thing about Brian is I knew LT Brian again because he said he was just going to leave WWE and wrestle somewhere else.
But he didn't though.
Well, I think he didn't get the chance because they eventually cleared him. But once his contract was up, he was going to wrestle again. Ryan made that very clear. He was not going to stay retired. Yeah.
What's your next one?
So you just gave number 9, right?
Yeah.
My number 9 is Kofi Mania. I don't know how you don't have this in your top 10. Kofi Mania was gigantic.
It was.
And you know what Kofi Mania showed me? It showed me that because Kofi wasn't and even now he's not looked as an upper card type of guy.
Yeah.
But it shows that Kofi was a guy who was loyal. He showed up. He was positive energy. Everybody loves Kofi. He did his hard work and he got his chance in the biggest spot possible.
Yeah.
That shows to me that even the guys who aren't being used properly right now, or not even properly, the guys who aren't always on the main event, they don't get that much screen time, that if they continue to do their hard work, if they continue to, be a team player, eventually the fans would recognize them and force the hand. And that's what happened to Kofi Kingston. Like, I would have, if you would have told me in 2010, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 that Kofi Kingston's a future WWE champion, I would have told you are smoking crack.
Yeah, facts.
But it happened, No one could take that away from Kofi.
Facts.
And that's, huge moment in WWE. I don't know how it's not in your top 10.
Almost.
Okay.
Top 13.
All right.
Next was this number
8. Yeah.
My number 8 is the debut of the Tribal Chief, SummerSlam 2020.
Wow.
The beginning of just the craziest run ever. Not only is it one of the craziest runs, right? Like the whole bloodline stuff gonna define the 20s.
Yeah.
But
I mean, if it continues, because we're only 4 years.
It doesn't even matter. It could end tomorrow. It will stay in the top 5 craziest things.
Yeah,
it will still define this decade.
If I have kids, you're gonna be like, "Wow, you got to see
the
bloodline." Yeah,
the bloodline happen,
live.
But also just Roman Reigns coming off.
I got to see a
huge shock.
Yeah, facts.
Huge shock.
Fun facts. Before Roman Reigns was a tribal chief, I used to tell Javari I could fix Roman Reigns with a second. Take off his suit, make him grow a beard, turn him heel. Yeah. All of that. I never even liked him with the goatee. I thought he just looked better with the beard. Yeah. And I was like, if you do all those 3 things, which they did, he will be the character you want him to be.
Yeah, it worked, man.
Yeah.
It worked. He came back. He had the new look. And then, a week later, he aligned himself with Paul Heyman. They just went full throttle. And I kind of thought, okay, it's going to be kind of like a John Cena situation. This guy probably never going to turn heel. It wasn't even in my head. And then they did it. And I was like, yeah. And what came after that is just, genuinely some of the biggest stories in wrestling history. One of the greatest title runs in wrestling history, longest title runs, et cetera, et cetera. It's masterful shit. So, yeah.
True.
What's next?
All right, my number 8 is the heist of the century.
It's at 8.
Yeah, the heist of the century.
I kind of thought you would have that a little higher.
Oh wow! Now I'm objective.
Wow.
The heist of the century.
Okay.
I remember just when I was seeing it, I was like, "What is going on?" I never thought because it was so unorthodox. I never thought Vince McMahon would have something like that in him. Such a crazy curveball. Yeah. I actually expected Brock Lesnar to win that match. I thought Brock would win pretty easily. But the fact that happened, I was like, wow.
I expected that to be Roman's coronation.
No, I did it first. But then, 2-3 weeks before WrestleMania, Brock signed, a big contract. I'm thinking, I guess it's not Roman's time after all. So I thought Brock was going to win the match.
Yeah,
but even if Brock didn't win, I thought maybe, okay, fine, Roman's going to win. Yeah. The fact that Seth Rollins cashed in the main event of WrestleMania, the balls. Wow. Kayfabe-wise, if there was a video, if they did a video backwards, people backstage were like, the balls, you just had to steal the world title in the main event of WrestleMania, the biggest match of the year. You go steal it? That's just crazy. Yeah. That's just crazy.
Wow. Yeah. So I'm gonna save.
I think also
So I'm gonna save what I have for that.
But for the reason that made Seth Rollins.
Oh yeah.
The Shield breaking up the Shield was big, but this made Seth Rollins.
Yeah,
this was Seth Rollins is a big game player.
This was this is the beginning of this new.
Yeah, on his gravestone, it's gonna read Seth Rollins stole the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. That's gonna be its ultimate heel heat. So yeah,
first ever WrestleMania cash in too.
Yeah. Which makes you think, why didn't people do it before him?
Right?
and why haven't like everyone done it? But
Fact. Fact.
yeah.
My number 7 is Sasha Banks versus Bailey NXT Takeover Brooklyn 2015. Not only obviously this is
I thought main roster was implied here, but okay.
Oh, what?
I thought it was. But
Nah,
okay.
I can't keep this off, bro. I can't keep this.
All right, and just okay.
This did way too much. This like women's wrestling today in WWE is what it is because of this match. People started waking up, opening their eyes because of this match. Right before this match, you have AJ Lee's cutting up on Twitter. Paige doing their thing. They're playing their part, whatever. But we're still having like Nikki Bella as the Divas champion, and they're having like 5-minute matches. Or sorry, not 5 minutes. My fault. Like 1:30. Legit. That's like a real number. Like the women aren't really doing much of anything. They're still having the costume, battle royals, whatever. This match happens, blows up the world. Like, these women can really
to give women a chance.
Yeah,
give divas a chance. My fault. Give divas a chance.
To give divas a chance. After that, it was like, okay, women, like, we see women now. They're about to rough it out, and that's exactly what it did. I think genuinely that match changed women's wrestling. Oh God, I could not put it on there.
Word. All right. My number 7 is how I didn't have the women's main event of WrestleMania 35. It's because I have this. Nia Jax breaks Becky Lynch's nose because that was the start of it. That main event, I feel like once that main event happened, it kind of took a slow turn. Obviously that stuff with Lacey Evans and Baron Corbin was insufferable. And I also kind of feel like, I don't want to say women's wrestling stalled, but it just felt like it was okay. It kind of reached a peak, and then my surprise is why I had Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks main events at WrestleMania. But I have this because that was the moment the women's revolution started. That was it. That was the start of the man. Becky Lynch was the hottest thing, and I don't think another women's wrestler, maybe another women's wrestler will, but she's the only women's wrestler who's ever been like the hottest thing.
Yeah, no,
the most over person on the roster.
Like as over as like some of the most over men.
Yeah, men and women. 2019, late 2018, early 2019 was. If you're not talking about Becky Lynch, shut the fuck up. Like that's all. Yeah, it's all people talked about. The man, she had swagger. She had an attitude to her. It was like a new era. So yeah, that to me is what I was.
Because of a broken nose.
Yeah, but the photo was badass. The photo was completely badass.
It was.
Yeah. So thank you, Nia Jax. Yep, that's my number 7.
Well, we like switched because my number 7 is the women's main event. And I put the Nia's breaking Becky's nose in the I don't mention, but yeah, women's main event was just like it's just too big of a feat to not put on this list. Like I feel like it's
I feel like you could even do it for both of us, like Slash, because I did it thinking like Nia Jax, because the women's main event happened, of course, but I feel like that was like an effect of the breaking the nose. I feel like because the breaking nose not only goes in for the main event of WrestleMania 35, but it creates the man.
Yeah.
So I wanted to be more broad with mine.
That's fair.
That's the beginning of the man. It's like, Bret and Stone Cold at WrestleMania, the double turn. That's like the beginning of something here. Right.
That's fair. The feat.
So that's the reason I didn't have it there.
The feat itself was just too big.
And also, I feel like that match just was pretty mid. Overall, I feel like the match shouldn't. Charlotte Flair had no business being in that match. It shouldn't even have been for both titles.
If the match truly banged, it would be higher.
Yeah, if the match was Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks was just a better wrestling match. It just was objectively better.
Yeah, for sure.
But Charlotte Flair had no business being in there. It shouldn't have been for both titles. Yeah. It was WrestleMania 35 was way too long.
They wanted to juice it for everything they could.
Yeah, but I feel like now they overdid it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we were already excited. It should have been, because the feud that year was Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey. Yeah. That should have been the main event of WrestleMania 35. It would have been the best thing.
I can't lie though. That segment they had, I don't know if it was Go Home Show, but where they all got like arrested.
Yeah.
That was a crazy segment. I
Yeah.
fuck with that segment heavy. I
Yeah,
can't
but
lie.
it kind of it just ruined the match. The match just wasn't that good. And again, WrestleMania 35 was like so long.
Yeah,
Like I was barely up.
right.
I was trying to stay up to watch it. It was so
That was the
freaking
last
long.
one night WrestleMania,
Yeah.
which I'm kind of thankful that the women got to got to main event WrestleMania during a one night main event, because the 2 night main events are great. Like to main event, like WrestleMania, all of our lives before then has just been one
Yeah, it
night.
has
To main
been.
event a one night WrestleMania with everyone's on the card and you're just at the top, crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is a great thing.
So yeah, for sure. What's your what do we got, 6?
Yeah, my number 6 is actually two different things, but they connect together, even though they're about 2 years apart.
Okay.
You're gonna have to fill me in here. My number 6 is the arrival of the Tribal Chief.
The Arrival of the Tribal Chief?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's SummerSlam / the return of Cody Rhodes. Those two events are put together because I feel like we were on a collision course with those two events. Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns were born to face each other 2 times at WrestleMania. That's what their whole lives had been. They both didn't know it. They both probably just passed each other a whole bunch of times. But they were both born to have that feud, to feed family, so they could go on to face each other at WrestleMania 39 and WrestleMania 40. So I count that as one. When he became the Tribal Chief and he returned as the American Nightmare, we were on a collision course and nobody even knew it. Actually, I guess most people probably figured Cody Rhodes is here. He's a huge star. But it turned out to be a lot bigger than anybody could have ever anticipated.
For real.
So yeah, that's my number 6.
That's fair. That's fair.
And it was actually in the top 3. I just kept on remembering things, and I was like, okay, fine.
Oh shit! Well, I don't know if she's gonna like this or not, but my number this is 6.
Didn't you say you're 6?
Oh yeah, this is 5. Okay, my number 5 is Cody Rhodes finishing his story.
Wow.
It's number 5. Might sound a little low, but it is the more recent of my top 4, and I think it started like a new era in WWE. Huge deal. Like honestly, I feel like we're fresh out the gates of hell. Like I feel so refreshed. You know what I'm saying? But it's still early. You know, like I wanna give it some time to breathe. You know, it just happened this year. You know, but obviously it's one of the greatest WrestleMania main events of all time. Maybe even the greatest WrestleMania main event of all time. That like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's got to be the craziest 5 minutes in wrestling history. Like perfectly booked. Huge moment. Got to do it for his dad. Great story. I think that might be my favorite WrestleMania build of all time. At least that I've ever been like a part of. The Rock whooping ass, cussing and making Cody bleed and all that. Like that was wild shit. Oh yeah, top 5. Cody finishes his story. What you got? You already have 4?
Yeah, my number 5 is.
Yeah, you're 5?
Yeah. No, I'm about to give my number 5 right now. My number 5 is CM Punk returning.
All right.
That was crazy is understatement. That was.
Yeah.
I was starting to lose hope at a certain point. A lot of people don't know this, but every time WWE had a show in Chicago, I was positive. Every Royal Rumble, I was positive.
Yeah, no.
CM Punk was going to return. Like I thought honestly when CM Punk left, he was going to be gone for 3.
Yeah, I thought he was
4
right
years.
Back.
Yeah.
I thought 3-4 months. I thought no biggie.
I didn't think it was going to be as long as it was, and I was
Yeah.
starting to lose hope at a certain point. But
When did you start to lose hope? Like what year, if you could pinpoint?
because I thought he was going to be in the 2018 and the 2019 Royal Rumble.
Really?
Yeah. So by like 2020, I was like,
Well.
maybe it's just not in the cards.
I think I lost hope way before that, brother.
Nah, wasn't the 2018 in Chicago? Wasn't the 2018 Royal Rumble in Chicago?
I feel like that was.
I feel like that was the one I remember we were on the phone, me, you, and CJ, and I was like, this is happening. I was positive CM Punk was going to be in the Royal. I'm pretty sure the 2018 Royal Rumble was in Chicago. Let me see. Let me look it up real quick.
I think I lost hope like 2016.
No, it wasn't in Chicago. Which one was
2017.
in Chicago?
I don't
I might be bugging. Maybe none of them are in Chicago. I don't know why I thought the. Oh, I guess none of them were in Chicago.
My hopes were high early.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different show. But yeah, I was starting to lose hope by like 2020, 2021. I was like, wow, this isn't gonna happen, is it? And it did happen. So,
Yeah.
and I also think it shows what type of era we're in. You know, we're willing to let bygones be bygones.
But
You know, we're willing to let shit pass.
for sure. For sure. Alright, what was my number 4?
Yeah.
Alright, let me shake it up. My number 4 is Seth Rollins. The heist of the century.
Really?
That's my number 4. I remember watching this. 15 years old. My living room in Oakcrest Road. I'm watching it with my mother. I think it's about to be Roman's coronation. His family there. This is what we've been leading up to this whole time, right? First off the match bang, I hear Seth's music. I'm like, yo, what? But when he actually goes for the pin, 1, 2, 3, I started dying of laughter. I couldn't even believe what I just watched. You could ask my own mother. I was on the floor. Who did I call? I think I called JT or somebody. I was dying. Like, there's times where things happen in wrestling and me and JT watch at the same time, and then we'll call each other and we're both already laughing. Like, that was one of those moments. Dying. What just happened? But yeah, just like you said, that was like the beginning of a new. One, it made Seth Rollins. 2, I think that's the beginning of a new era. Like the year before, if you compare WrestleMania 30 and you compare WrestleMania 31, different as fuck. Very different. WrestleMania 30 is definitely like the end of the before era, and 31 is definitely the beginning of a new.
Yeah.
For sure. I just topped it all off. Cherry on top.
All right. Yeah, I feel you. All right. That was your number 4, right?
Yeah. 4.
All right. My number 4 is Cody finishing the story.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Take some more.
Yeah, that was just.
Yeah.
That was honestly. I'm trying to think of the words to describe Cody Rhodes finishing his story.
Rewarding is a good word.
I don't even know if rewarding is the right words. Like, it was so crazy. I might get April 7th, 2024 tattooed on me. That's how crazy of a day it was. It was just like all the years. I had this one phrase that I was saying. Is that on April 7th, what Daniel Bryan started and what Kofi Kingston continued, Cody Rhodes will finish. And yes, he did. I don't even think, how do you, like, we had Undertaker, John Cena, The Rock, all those guys. We had Jey Uso and Jimmy. It was just a perfect coronation.
Seth Rollins coming out.
Seth Rollins coming out with the Shields gear, and then Roman picking Seth over saving his own title. It was just
storytelling was.
Yeah.
I had to snap back to reality quick when I heard the Shields music, like so fast.
Yeah, tell me.
Remind myself,
Actually,
like, nah, that's ridiculous.
Well, to be honest, you're not the only one, because when that happened, I seen like a whole bunch of people on Twitter saying they thought that. Even Solomon Monster said, he was like, no, this couldn't have been.
I thought
that too.
AEW lent Dean Ambrose for one night. Like,
imagine if that actually happened though.
Yo, that would might even be like, yeah, that would be too crazy. That would be like sensory overload. Like, I need to focus on Cody finishing his story, and you're telling me that Jon Moxley's almost back too. Like, nah, that would be too much. That would be way too much. That would be some wild shit. But one day.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know how you could top that. That was just a perfect culmination of Roman Reigns' 4-year title run.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes, all the time he spent in WWE. It was just the perfect story, especially because what happened with The Rock, the final boss was there. It was just everything. Everything came together perfectly.
The final boss.
for a night in Philly. That's the one thing I'm going to always regret, that I wasn't there live to see it. That's the one thing.
That would have been great.
Yeah, would have been fantastic. Yeah, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Yeselmania.
Yes.
Daniel Bryan finishing his
Wow,
story.
I'm trying to think what could be your 2 and 1. Wow.
Well, yeah. Daniel Bryan finishing his story was just huge. That was like a fairy tale, storybook ending. Like,
Yeah, it was.
10 years before Cody. And Bryan was getting dogged out. Like, starting at SummerSlam the year before, when Randy cashed in Triple H's turn. And, oh my gosh, the Royal Rumble 2014, when he wasn't even in it.
Yeah.
Fools. Fools.
I understand the logic there.
You understand it?
Yeah, because, well, I mean, if he's not going to win it, I feel like
they could have show some respect. They could have had him.
Well, I feel like that's to be honest, I feel like that's even a little bit more insulting, the fact that he's in it and he didn't win.
Nah.
I feel like if he's not in it, okay, he's obviously not going to win. But it's a shame what happened to Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, sure. I never thought I'd see the day Rey Mysterio get booed.
Yeah, facts.
That was wild.
Facts. I don't think Rey Mysterio's never been heel all of my life.
No, yeah, facts.
Rey Mysterio's always been.
Yeah. When he was heel in WCW, I'm pretty sure we weren't born yet.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure we weren't born yet.
Yeah, we were. Yeah.
Maybe.
So Rey Mysterio's been face our entire lives.
Yeah.
And he got booed because he wasn't.
Daniel Bryan.
Batista said that was like the one thing that just broke his heart, because Rey Mysterio was just the one guy who didn't deserve that.
Yeah, facts.
Rey Mysterio is literally the nicest person on earth.
Yeah. They honestly should have just put Bryan in and make him win, honestly.
Or make him win. Yeah, well, I mean, of course, yeah, he should have won that Rumble, but I'm saying if he's not in it, then okay, I understand the thought process for just not having him in it, period. Because maybe they're trying to think, maybe if he's not in it, fans will just get over it. Instead of him just being eliminated, like you actually see him get eliminated. I feel like that's a bigger heartbreak.
They didn't get over
it. Yeah, they booed. I don't think anybody could have. I think Stone Cold could have won that Rumble and he would have gotten booed. I don't think anybody besides Daniel Bryan winning that night in Philly would have done anything. Yeah.
And then
no, not in Philly. That was in where was that Rumble at?
St. Louis? No.
I don't even remember, but
yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was a terrible.
The following year was in Philly, and they put Bryan in.
Yeah,
I'll tell you this.
I didn't expect Daniel Bryan to win that either.
People thought Daniel Bryan was going to win.
Yeah.
Fools.
Idiots. Yeah. I didn't think he was going to win.
Come on.
But
I mean, even the year before, I knew Batista was going to win. That was like common sense. But they could have for 2015. They had him come in and he got eliminated like early as fuck.
Yeah, he did go.
Like they could have had him run the distance at least. Come on now. But yeah, that's my number 3.
Number 3. All right, my number 3 is Edge returns. That to me was even like during that day. I remember that day and our reactions when Edge came out together.
We were screaming.
Yeah, but like there was a good part of me who just didn't believe it. There was a really good part of me. Like I wanted, to be honest, if you would probably ask me if I would have took a lie detector test, I probably only believed it like really like 20%.
Yeah.
I did not. I was like, okay, whatever.
Remember when he posted his kids' pictures?
Yeah.
I was like, come on, son.
Like I like to keep the hope alive, but like there was a good part of me that I would have never thought, even if you would ask me if he's gonna return, I probably would have said it for a match or two, not to be like back consistently. Mm-hmm. I would have never thought Edge was gonna wrestle again. Yeah. I thought I'm not a doctor, but the way Edge retired, I thought he was like, if he took another fall, he would be paralyzed.
Yo, remember in 2014 where he came back and Seth Rollins had his?
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo, you gotta chill out.
dangerous game.
Yeah, fact. I thought Edge was made of like brittle.
Yeah,
but I did kind of get like a whiff.
Well, he said on his podcast, like maybe a year before that, maybe a year or two before that happens, he thinks he could do another match.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he said that.
I remember
he said that to Christian on the podcast.
Oh, Edge and Christian podcast?
Yeah, he said, do they still do that, the Edge and Christian podcast?
I don't think so.
Oh, yeah, he said it to Christian. He was like, yeah, I think I have another match in me. And then he spears Elias.
Yeah, when he spears Elias, so I was like,
yeah.
What? It technically wasn't a bump, but like, you're getting active? What's going on here? Like I thought he couldn't
Yeah,
even.
that was just.
I thought like don't even put your hand on his shoulder. Like don't touch
yeah,
Edge.
me too. Me
But,
too. That's
yeah.
what I was, and it just completely fucked everything up for me.
Yeah.
I just couldn't even believe it. And that was the same day Kobe died too, so that was
Yeah, that was just a crazy day.
yeah, that was a
Crazy
very
day.
impactful day. Yeah.
Very eventful day. When it's even a moment that like I go back to so consistently. Like
Yeah, me too.
Every like 3 months.
yeah, I watch it.
I
me
just
too.
want to feel.
I watch
just
other
wanna
people's
feel it.
reactions actually.
Yeah, yo, me too.
Yeah.
Oh God,
yeah.
that's one of those things that I also.
It's just a
watch
crazy
people's
thing. I watched the crowd reaction in there, all the fan. The
Yeah.
second it goes, you think you know, and then
Yeah.
Michael Cole says, "No, it can't be."
Yeah.
Like he says something like that. I'm like, "Oh my god,
Yeah.
goosebumps!"
It was good. It
Yeah,
was really good to see.
Great.
Because I remember the day Edge retired too. I watched Raw live and I was like, "What?"
Okay, so I know what you have in your number 2. I just
You
I know what you have
number-
in your number. Yeah, your number 1 maybe. It's probably gonna be your.
You think you know me? Come on, bro.
Yeah, bro. I do think I know you.
My number 2 is the Shield breaks up.
Oh wow!
The entire.
You know what? That should have been an honorable
Industry.
mention for me.
That should have been an honorable mention.
Yeah.
You didn't have it on your list, right?
No.
But that, like, the entire industry stands on the shoulders of that moment. The entire industry stands on the shoulders of that moment. Those people breaking up, like the 3 leaders of the next 10 years, like top industry of the last decade has been Jon Moxley, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, I haven't.
Like clear as day, and that moment was like, that was it. Even like storyline wise, like the whole chair to the Roman's back, it's still playing.
Wait, but you think Shield breaking up's bigger than WrestleMania?
Oh yeah,
Oh, really?
it just had more.
To me,
Like I think WrestleMania might be like a bigger moment.
what? we were listening to 10 bigger moments.
But the like, so that like it just the Shield breaking up just does way more. Like it carried a decade. It carried a decade. You feel me?
I
Like
understand what you're thinking. I didn't even think about it like that.
it's just crazy.
It should have, yeah. You know.
It yeah. It's pretty simple. It catapulted those 3 men into superstar.
I didn't have it, but if I probably did, now I think about it, probably I knew I was forgetting something. I ain't gonna.
And it's got to be what's a bigger?
I don't
It's
think
got to be top 5 turns
Yeah, it is.
of all time in wrestling history. That's something you never forget. I never forget that moment.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put it if I had to like around 6 or 7. My number 2 is the Yes Movement.
Yeah.
The Yes Movement. The thing about the Yes Movement is the Yes Movement actually happens probably once a decade. Right?
Oh yeah.
Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
Kofi. Cody Rhodes. The Yes Moves happen a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But something about the way the WWE Universe strong-armed a billionaire from Connecticut. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. You couldn't have told a better story.
Yeah.
Something about like it was just a perfect story. The Authority, they had the nickname, you know, they called him B plus player or whatever.
Yeah, all that.
You know, they said he wasn't face of the company material.
Yeah.
And for those young people out there who think that was the animal that they saw, but that wasn't the animal. I saw the animal in my prime. Trust me. You know, I hate that that's like the last image that people have of Batista wrestling. Or maybe I guess that his
35.
yes, but I don't think that's what most people think. Dave Batista in his prime, he was a different beast. You know, I hate that he had to look like that, but overall, the Yes Movie, it just did too much. It showed me that, you know, that the WWE Universe can be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, other times, I honestly think if Vince McMahon doesn't change course and go with Daniel Bryan, well, not only do I think Daniel Bryan's career is never as big, I don't think he goes on to become the healthy champion or whatever he called himself.
Yeah.
And have that healthy championship.
Mm.
I don't think he goes on to do that, but I also don't think Kofi Mania happens. I'm not sure if Becky Lynch, the man, happens, and I don't think Cody Rhodes happens either. I think we're in the standard. Vince picks the top guy, and we accept it, and we eat dirt, and we just cry about it. I think that happens. So, yeah, that's just, I don't know how you get bigger than that.
Yeah, it's pretty self.
That's like the blueprint.
Well, I know how you get bigger than that, but
okay. What's your number one?
My number one biggest moment in the last 10 years. That's 2014 to 2024. The biggest moment. Brock Lesnar defeating The Undertaker streak. You just can't tell me different. That's like, we can have a discussion. The discussion will last about 2 minutes of what's the biggest moment in wrestling history. Sure, there might be a couple other options out there. Not too many. So this is gonna be quick.
I'm gonna amaze you with my number one,
bro.
I promise you.
There's come on. The streak is the biggest thing in wrestling. Okay. Beating the streak is like, we had this discussion before. We were like Hall of Fame worthiness, and like, if somebody who never won any titles ever beat the streak, come on, that's like your golden ticket. You're in the history books. Yeah, it cements you forever. Like, beating the Undertaker streak is the biggest thing in professional wrestling history, and to have it be beat, I know you knew that Brock was gonna win, or
yeah, for the fact I won either $5 or $10 off the streak ending because I predicted the end of the streak.
I thought it was another year, bro. Another run of the mill year. Yeah. Like, wow. In the show, it's got to be the most shocking moment in history.
Yeah, wrestling.
Like, what? It was so shocking. I legitimately thought somebody made a mistake. Like, I thought a referee got fired. Like, I thought this was a real issue, But yeah, man, that's the biggest moment of the last 10 years. Brock Lesnar defeating the Undertaker streak.
Okay. All right, my number one is gonna surprise you.
Here we go.
And you have to play 3D chess with me here. My number one is when Shane McMahon came back at WrestleMania 39 because. What? Yeah, when Shane McMahon came back, he hurt his quad or whatever.
Bro, what?
Yeah, bro. Listen to me.
You're telling me when Shane McMahon
that is the biggest moment.
WrestleMania 39 in 2023 and tore his quadricep muscles. It is the biggest moment of the last 10 years. You're gonna have to explain the fuck out of this.
Because that situation, Shane McMahon was gonna return and come back. But instead, he goes to AEW and that changes wrestling forever. And I'm joking. The greatest moment. Because
I'm waiting for whatever you're about to unravel, bro.
Yo, shoot, I probably had a whole bunch of people. I tried when I put down this list, right? I originally had thought that number one would be the Yes Movement or Cody Rhodes finishing the story. Mm-hmm. But the more I thought about it, the fact that referee's hand hit 3 for Brock Lesnar to me.
Let's go!
Was absurd.
Come on!
It was absurd.
I know I'm not crazy.
That was absurd. That was just fucking crazy. That referee's hand had no rights. Yeah. It comes to a point where if I was the referee, I would have told, I was like, hey, you're going over tonight. Fuck Vince.
It's to the point where if I was Vince McMahon and I'm the one who booked it, and the ref in Brock Lesnar beat Undertaker, when the ref came back, I'd be like, you're fired. He'd be like, what? You told me to do it. I didn't think you were going to do it. You're mad. You're crazy.
Oh, shoot.
Yo.
To be honest, I wish I was there that day. I would have just said, Vince, you have no idea what you're doing right now. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
And, in fact, I would have pulled Stephanie and Triple H and whoever, Chris Pritchard and everybody.
Like, please.
I wouldn't even, I would have said, Vince is clearly having like a mental breakdown here. What do we want to do about this? I would have done everything in my power to make sure that doesn't happen. Because it's like the greatest stain in history. Like, it's just such a stain that's like, and we can never fix it.
Yeah.
Never.
And I'm thankful it's not like Brock Lesnar is like this joke. Like he's
No, Brock
super
Lesnar's obviously.
undeserving. Like he's a credible person.
No, I don't think he's deserving. Brock Lesnar is not
in
the
terms of like.
like the thing
It's
about
not like a bum. It's not like a bum
the
doing
thing.
it.
The
You know what I'm
thing.
saying?
The thing with it being deserving though, I feel like deserving has to be like if it had been like Triple H or John Cena or Randy Orton or Edge or Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins, people who have given their all for WWE and professional wrestling. I wouldn't have liked that either because I mean Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, I would have found that because
But
they
everyone
knew
else
that.
is established.
Yeah, but everybody else is established. Brock Lesnar gives the vibes like he doesn't really care about wrestling. You know, it was like he got the biggest prize in wrestling. He doesn't even care.
A little more than we.
I mean, storyline wise, kayfabe wise, that's his character. I actually don't think Brock Lesnar cares that much about professional wrestling. I don't. Do you think Brock Lesnar watches professional wrestling?
A little more than we think he does.
Nah. Do you think Brock Lesnar watches wrestling in his free time? I don't. I'll be flabbergasted if Brock Lesnar knows what.
Maybe not. Maybe
he does not watch wrestling in his free time.
Yeah. But
nothing wrong with that either. If it's a job to him, all the power to him. It's just it's like it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. The guy who doesn't give a fuck about professional wrestling has one of the biggest prizes ever, and he didn't need it at all. It's like okay, we could have done really good with the streak, and I do think the streak should have ended. We could have just done really, really fucking good with it, and we wasted it on Brock Lesnar. Yeah. And that's just like the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, Brock has the greatest rookie year of all time. Like his accomplishments, even before. It's crazy.
When I was in high school, Brock Lesnar was champion for like.
Oh my god! Brock Lesnar has been champion all of middle school and high school. It feels like for me.
Yeah, he was champion like literally so much.
Like damn,
and it's cool. Brock Lesnar is one of the greatest of all time, and all that. But we could have just done so much better with the streak. So yeah,
I remember by like October 2014, Brock was champion. And he'd only been champion for a few months. He went at SummerSlam. It had been like 2-3 months.
Yeah, he had Night of Champions the next month, right?
Yeah, and then October, so into the Hell in a Cell build. So he's not on the card.
He was on the cell.
It's Seth and Dean
and John Cena,
John and Randy. I was so sick of him not being champion because he just was never around. But I was 2 months into his reign. If I went back 10 years and told my 14-year-old self, yo, you're just going to have to thug this out. Because the next decade belongs to Brock Lesnar as world champion.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar would show up, and he would, show up is a wrong word, but Brock Lesnar would win the championship and not be here for months.
Yeah.
Months. Yeah. It got to a point where it felt like it's getting ridiculous. Yeah. And, again, Brock Lesnar, I do think Vince McMahon said one time, I forgot, I think he might have said on the Stone Cold podcast on why Brock Lesnar is not full time. It's like, how many people could Brock Lesnar realistically beat if he's full time?
I agree.
I understand that, and he's a special attraction. I do understand that.
Facts.
But if that's the case, not even don't put the title on him. It's just you don't put the title on him so much.
Yeah, facts.
Like Brock Lesnar was always champion when in high school. It was annoying.
By the time,
and it wasn't like John Cena being champion. John Cena would show up. You'd see John Cena every day. John Cena would have program
every week.
Yeah. Brock Lesnar would never show up. I'm pretty sure when he won against John Cena at Night of Champions, he didn't show up until the Royal Rumble. Yeah, he missed Survivor Series that year.
Yeah, he didn't show up.
So it was like Jesus.
Yeah, I was done.
And when he was champion, when he was Universal Champion for 509 days, he had 14, 15 defenses. He would show up on a yeah.
That sounds like more than I even think.
No, yeah, because that's a year and a half, a little bit over. Yeah. No, yeah, a little bit over a year and a half. Dude, never show up. Yeah. You remember the episode of Drake and Josh? I think it was the series finale of Drake and Josh, when a teacher comes to Drake's house and he's like, "Your family, Jim," and Megan's like, "How do you feel, Jim? All you have to do is show up." Like, he never shows up, and Drake's like, "Why didn't you tell me? Like, you don't show up to class." that's how I felt like Brock Lesnar. You don't show up. Like, how do you? It got really annoying with Brock Lesnar.
I was like sick. I was nauseous seeing Brock as champion by the time 2017-18 was around.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it.
Actually, the one good thing about this is I don't think Brock Lesnar will ever be champion again. I don't think.
No. Never, ever. Please, God, no.
I'll be down for Brock Lesnar IC title win.
Well, I don't even know if I'd be down for that. Brock Lesnar's out of every wrestler ever. Brock Lesnar is just so above most things.
Normal thing. Yeah, you're right.
Like,
I feel like wouldn't it be kind of cool?
it would be cool when I was like 14, 15. I used to be like, okay, Brock would be.
Brock kind of has a different aura to him because whenever Brock Lesnar used to show up, you know, he'll never crack a smile. He'll do his beast stalking.
Yeah.
Now he kind of smiles and stuff, and he wears a cowboy hat. He's kind of
fun with it.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar's, you know, he has a different feelings for him.
Yeah.
But when Brock Lesnar, a couple years ago, Brock Lesnar was a man who should not be messed with. Like, if you saw Brock Lesnar, you better walk away.
You better run away.
And I feel like his kayfabe persona is kind of chill. You know,
he's still fucking eat you alive.
Yeah, I'm hip, but he's not. Nah, he's still the beast incarnate. But you know what I'm saying? He doesn't have the aura of like the, you know. He felt Brock Lesnar was a dangerous man in his time. So yeah, I still feel like he's a dangerous man.
So
yeah, that's Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker's streak is just egregious. Yeah, egregious.
And Brock's one of the GOATs, but he didn't need that. He didn't need that. Not at all. Damn.
Maybe it's one of those decisions that's gonna like age better with time. Maybe in 10 years.
Long enough.
Well, maybe in another 10 years we'll think it was a good decision.
Yeah, I'm not betting my money on it. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, me either. I'm surprised more people didn't push back on it. I'm surprised, like...
Yeah, I would have.
Like, you know how I know Brock Lesnar doesn't care about wrestling? The way he should, at least?
Mm-hmm.
You know...
I know what you're about to say.
What? What do you think I'm about to say?
You're about to say, like, anyone else who they would have said to...
Yes!
They would have been like,
yes.
What?
Anyone else would have said no to it.
Didn't, like, Edge do that?
Yeah, Edge did do that. I was just thinking that. Anyone else, if you would have offered the street to them, like an established guy, like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, they would have said no.
Beside themselves. Like,
yeah, they would have been like, come on, this is the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Brock just did it.
Yeah. I'm happy. He probably was like, okay, word.
Yeah. Not even word. He planned to do it. He planned to advocate for it.
That's crazy.
When Paul Heyman told the story about how when Vince originally told him about the match, he walked back into the truck and Brock says, "We're gonna break that fucking streak."
Wow.
This is weeks before.
Like, excuse me.
They both agreed on it. They both said, "Yeah," which was completely.
Pissing me
I
off.
honestly just wish the match never happened.
Oh yeah.
Not even like in the sense of like, you know, from history. I'm talking about. They just wouldn't have booked the match because Brock Lesnar couldn't have taken the loss. Undertaker shouldn't have. It's just nobody could win here.
Yeah.
Or they could have redone WrestleMania 27.
Brock could have taken the loss.
You think Brock could have taken that clean?
He took the loss to Triple H and John Cena once. And he beat Triple H. You know,
but losing 2 matches gets
it's
at that point it would have been like, okay.
Somehow, right, there still seems to be some sort of a stark difference between pre-streak Brock and post-streak Brock.
Yeah.
Once Brock beat the streak, I've never seen a more unstoppable human being in my life.
Yeah. I always thought his music was like intimidating. Like the second you hear his music, it's like, whoa.
Yo, run, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
The second you hear that music.
Yeah, sure. But yeah, those were the 10 most important things. 10 most important moments in the last 10 years.
All right, that was top 10 biggest moments of the last 10 years. Let us know if we're bugging. Let us know if we're not. Spoiler alert, we're not. And, yeah.